To These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. On today's episode, finally, the Grand Prix final is here. 2022 Grand Prix final is here. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I have not been this excited for a Grand Prix final in years. And the reason why is because I don't know. That element of surprise. Almost every discipline is up for grab. I cannot remember the last time in figure skating when we had a Grand Prix final where almost every discipline was literally up for grab. People we thought were going to be leaders, that were going to be favorites, that were going to sweep all the podiums have faltered. Underdogs have risen. It's like a David and Goliath Horatio Altra story. We don't know who's gonna win. And to me, that is skating. That is what I love. That is what I missed about skating. And I'm so happy to finally have it back. So, what do I think is going to happen at the Grand Prix? I'm just taking a guesstimate. So I'm going by basically how these pairs, how these singles have skated so far, the scores that they've gotten, how the judges seem to be receiving them, how the audience seems to be receiving them, because I honestly don't know because it is so tight in every discipline. So starting off with pairs. I would say for me, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara, I would give them the advantage of winning the gold here. The reason being is they're fan favorites. The judge loved them. They're so happy. They're so cheerful. It is Christmas. We want something light. We want something joyous. And Riku and Ryuichi give us that. They just are so bubbly and we are in for it. So for me, I don't know. No matter what happened, they will definitely end up on the podium. But I see them likely winning the Grand Prix final here. As for Alexa Canerum and Brendan Fraser, I'm going to give them a 94.5% chance of being on the podium. They would have to do extremely bad. It's not even a question of the other teams doing extremely good. It's more of a question of them doing extremely poor for them not to end up on that podium. In terms of them winning, I'm going to give them a 91.9% chance only because based on the scores the judges have given out so far, Riku and Ryuichi is just, I think, about 6 to 8 points ahead of them. Rounding off my podium, I definitely have the one, the only Diana Stelletta the Duke and Maxime the Chump. I think it might be very, very hard for them to win, like more like an 81% chance. But for them to win, the other top two pairs would literally have to like miss every element. They would have to seriously self implode in order for them to win. But I am giving them a 92% chance of being on the podium. Without a doubt, out of the six pairs that are here, Diana and Maxime are podium worthy pair. They're packaging this season exquisite. Their programs. Honestly, out of the three pairs, they have the best two programs being presented for pairs this year for me, in my opinion. Deanna just looks fabulous. She does not have a bad position. They are mature. There's something elegant yet earthy about them. I'm a big fan of this pair, so I'm putting them in third place. I definitely have them in the podium. Now, should God forbid Deanna and Maxine falter, I do think the US pair of Emily Chen and Spencer Akira Howie have a slight chance of podium. like maybe a 45% chance. But then again, Diana and Maxim have to do fairly bad for this to happen. As of them winning, I'm going to give them a 12% chance because nothing is impossible. It is just highly improbable. But if all the top teams go out there and they poo poo it, and the judges have no choice but to give it to the pair that did most of their elements, it's not outside of the realm of possibility for Emily and Spencer. Again, this team is incredibly inconsistent, but in terms of quality, their lift, their twists, their lines, their chemistry, their ice presence. There is something very refined about this team. It's simply that they cannot put two clean programs together. And then we do have the two Italian teams who are having like a little mini Italian national here. I honestly don't know who is going to end up fifth and who is going to end up sixth. But I do believe it will be split between the two Italians. But based on how they've performed so far, I think Rebecca Gilardi and Filippo Ambrosini have a better chance at beating out their countrymen, Sarah Conti and Niccolo Marchi. However, as for podium, I would give Rebecca and Filippo a 5% chance of podium finish. Winning, 3% chance. Again, nothing is impossible. Sarah and Nicolo, 3% chance of getting on the podium and a 1% chance of winning. Why? Because we don't know what's going to happen on the day of. Our expected favorites might just not show up. And skaters we didn't think would show up might have the performances of their lives. But that's how I see it playing out for the pairs. Now moving on to the men. The discipline that I feel that is going to stress me out the most, the discipline that I think that is going to give me the most heartbreak. I will just put it out there for you guys. I want Shoma Uno to win this. I want Shomo to come. I want him to have it together and I want him to win this. But that is my personal preference. However, if we're going based on how the judges have been judging, there is a 97.6% chance that Ilya is going to end up on that podium. That child Ilya Melanin just needs to stay on his feet and he will be on that podium. And he has a 93.4% chance of winning. By that, I mean, if he can give us a clean short program, because it will all come down to the short program. He has been poo-pooing the short program all season. However, if he can give us a clean short program and then do the quad axle and the other quads in the long, definitely a 93.4 chance of winning. I'm giving Shoma a 99% chance of being on that podium. I don't see an outcome where he doesn't do enough to end up on the podium. I'm also giving him a 97% chance of winning. Yes, I know Ilya has a better chance at winning than he is, but I'm still giving him a 97% because if he has a clean short and a clean free, logistically speaking, people with eyes seeing, there is no way a clean Shoma in the short and in the free should be beaten by Ilya Melnin. Should Ilya outscore him technically? Yes. But their PCS, the component score, should have at least a 15-point buffer that should still allow Shomo to win. And I need to believe this because otherwise nothing makes sense. So I'm giving Shomo a 97% chance of winning. Rounding out my podium is going to be I'm gonna go with Kalmira. I'm gonna give him an 87% chance of being on the podium and 75% chance of winning. Why? Because he's very consistent. He is a very, very consistent skater. And if he can deliver what he has delivered in his two Grand Prix, I definitely see him on the podium here. Then in fourth place, I'm putting Daniel Grasso. Again, you guys know how happy I am with his attempt to grow, with the improvement he's made. Not the most consistent of skater, not the most pleasant to watch of skater, but there is something tangible there. And I feel like if he comes, if he delivers, the judges will be there for him. I'm expecting in fifth place to be Sota Yamamoto. He will have another great short program, but unfortunately, he's coming back from injury. He simply does not have the stamina to deliver a clean, long program with the technical elements that are required to out jump the other guys in this field. He doesn't have it yet. I say give him another season when he's fully back to health, and then that might be another conversation. So I would say he has like a 53% chance of being on the podium. And if, listen, sometimes we know that the men's competition can turn into a complete and total hot messery. If we end up with a complete total hot messery, it's not completely outside the realm of possibility for Sota to find himself on the podium. So I'm giving him a 48% chance of being on the podium. As for Shun Soto, I have him in the last. Again, another skater coming back from major surgery, major injury. And I feel like the fact that he made the Grand Prix shows how much raw talent there is there, shows his determination, shows his competitive drive. But I just don't think he could put two clean programs together, not having the mileage that the other gentlemen do. So I'm putting him in sixth place, giving him a 41% chance of podium and a 35% chance of winning. Again, sometimes the men can be a hot mess. And then we move on to what will be the most dramatic of all, well, maybe not, but one of the most dramatic of all the discipline, and that is the one and only ice dance. I swear last season I was like, wrap up the medals and ship them to Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, and then let the other team compete for the remainder of the medals. I was ready to give them the national, the Grand Prix, four continent, worlds. But now I don't even know where to put them realistically. I mean, if we're going by the scores the judges have given so far, they will end up on the podium. But again, with ice dance, realistically, one missed element, and this could be anyone's game. One drop level, one twizzle foot not caught, and this could be anyone's game. But based on how they're scoring everyone so far, I'm going to give a 99.5% chance to Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier of being on that podium. Their worst outcome is to be on that podium. I'm going to give them a 93% chance of winning the whole thing. They have the highest rhythm scores this season so far, the highest free dance score this season so far, and the highest combined scores so far. The judges have clearly sent the statement that they are the golden standard for this season, and I don't see that changing. Um, I'm going to put the Italians, Charlene Gennard and Marco Fabri, in second place. I'm going to give them a 95% chance of podium and 86% chance of winning. Realistically speaking, Charlene and Marco are way more skilled technically than Paul and Piper. Like if we're being bluntly honest, their edge, their turn, their spins, their control, their speed, their precision. They are the most precise ice dance pair team out there. Unfortunately, they are also the most boring ice dance pair team out there. And I'm saying that as somebody who likes their material this season more than I've ever liked their material. But compared to some of the other teams, unfortunately, that's where they are. And it's only because of that, the packaging and the material, not the technical skill, not the skating skills that is putting them in second place. It is simply their packaging and their material. So I have them in second place. And surprising third place. And I feel like they're only going to get there by a thread. Holding on by a thread is Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. I have them with an 89% chance of being on the podium and a 78% chance of winning. Honestly speaking, I do not understand why Madison Chalk and Evan Bates are going to the Grand Prix final. I feel like they're pulling a Madison Hubble and Zachary Donahue, and they are digging in their heel, and that is going to kill them. Because worst case scenario, if they don't medal here, they might get buried at national. I honestly think they should have listened to the advice given by so many and just pull out, work on the two programs, and then come out with a bang at nationals. But no, they are going to be at the Grand Prix final. And right now, based on what we've seen so far, the best I can do is put them in third place. I pray, Madison. I pray you prove me wrong because you know how much I love you. Please, I pray, Marie France Debris. I pray Ice Dance Academy, pull out a miracle and whip that rhythm dance. Put some rhythm into that rhythm dance. Put some Latin flavor into that. Put some soul, put some anything into that rhythm dance. And as for that long, the free dance, I don't know. Do Marie France, do something with it. Breathe on it if you have to. Do something with it and let them come out on the Grand Prix final like a brand new team and turn this around because this is really sad. But for now, I have them in third place. In fourth place, I am having Lawrence Boudry and Nikolai Laurencine Boudry and Nikolai Sorensen. This is the team that could be the most problematic for Madison and Evan. If they miss so much as a level, if somebody so much as fudge a twizzle, I can see Madison and Evan off of that podium and Laurencine and Nikolai taking their place. I really like the materials given to this team this season. I especially love their free dance. They have that one lift when Nikolai lifts Laurencine up and almost uses her like a cape. I love their packaging. I love their material. And it would be really interesting to see what happened if they suddenly jumped up a place in their world standing. Coming up in fifth will probably be Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson. I'm giving them a 71% chance of a podium finish and a 56% chance of winning. Because again, you never know. People might just be missing their twizzles left and right. Who knows? Again, two very catchy program. They are definitely fans' favorite. They are definitely favorites of the judges. The politics are behind them. This is a team that's definitely being pushed this season, so I'm putting them in fifth place. In last place, I have Caitlin Hawaii and Jean-Luc Baker. I'm giving them only a 61% chance of podium and only a 38% chance of winning. It would take like several disasters for them to win. But that is so sad because Caitlin Hawaii and Jean-Luc Baker are fabulous. Edge, speed, connection. Oh, everything about this team is just fabulous. And I love their program. The little Lucy Ricky Ricardo program does it for me. The fact that they're so committed to it and sell it so much is everything. And then their free dance, again, caught in the moment, cannot take my eyes off of them. Love this free dance. I love this pair. And I feel like what used to happen to Paul and Piper a few years ago, where they were underscore and underrated, is what is now happening to Jean-Luc and Caitlin, where the judges are not fully scoring them from what they're doing on the ice, but is scoring them based on the seniority of ice dance. And I really hope that next season that begins to change because this team is simply fabulous. And then lastly, the creme de la creme, the marquee event, the possible drama, or maybe not so much nowadays, but hoping for a little drama, we have the women. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Any one of these women can actually win this title. Any one of these women can actually walk away with the title. They all have the ammunition to do so. I just feel like it's gonna be about who comes and deliver. So far, based on how the judging had been going, it does seem like Mai Miyahara has the best chance. I'm giving her a 90% podium finish chance and a 90% of winning this. The reason why is because Mai is the slow and steady type. She doesn't have epic highs, she doesn't have epic lows. She is just slow and steady. And I feel if she comes here and she is slow and steady in the short, then slow and steady in the long, and she allows the other ladies to make mistakes, then she can just walk away with a medal. But I definitely see her on the podium. But that goal, she could definitely walk away with the goal when the other women falter. In second place, I am putting Miss Luna Hendricks. I am actually giving her a 92% chance of a podium. I'm seeing the judges helping out Luna in any way they possibly can. They want her on that podium and they're going to push for her to be on that podium. So I'm giving her a 92% chance of podium, but an 88% chance of winning. The reason being, some of her jumps are under rotated. She is under rotating some of those jumps. I don't know if it was exhaustion. I don't know if it was nerves. I don't know if it's because this is her first time being at the top, instead of like chasing the top contenders. But I'm seeing some nerves. I'm seeing some jitters. Rounding out my podium is Kari Sakamoto. I'm also giving her a 90% chance of being on that podium. Again, this is a world champion, so the judges will not bury her. They will try to give her a little push where they can. And I'm giving her an 86% chance of winning. The reason being, poor Kari has not landed a clean triple triple this entire season. Not one clean triple triple. And if she cannot do a clean triple triple in the short, I see her being put as far as fifth place. And if she cannot bring a clean triple triple in the long, I do not see her winning this event. However, Kari is the kind of skater that paces herself. She paces herself and she goes about doing her skate her way. Another thing is, Kari also has the mind of a competitor. So I don't see her just lying down and just letting the other women take this medal from her. I see Kari putting up a fight and bringing all that she has. Now, will all that be enough? That I don't know, but I am looking forward to seeing it. Then in fourth place, I am putting Isabel Lavito. Now, beautiful skater, beautiful spins, lovely position, ice presence, star quality, and some of the most horrendous jump technique I have seen outside of an Eteri girl. But the US is thirsty. They are thirsty for a women's champion. And the politics behind this young woman will be next level. So I feel if any of the top three, Mai, Luna, Kaori, do not come with their best game, and Isabel deliver, the US will push her on that podium and push one of these girls out of the way like it was nobody's business. I have her in fourth with an 85% chance of being on the podium and an 80% chance of winning. Like I said, if any of the top three women falter and Isabel is clean, they will be buried, and that young girl will walk away with either the title or a medal. In fifth place, I have Yilin Kim. But realistically, I think she might end up last. So I gave her a 50% chance of podium finish and a 25% chance of winning. The reason why I'm saying this is because I just saw Yilin at the South Korean Ranking Cup. Poor Yilin did not even finish on the podium. I don't know if it's nerve, I don't know if it's the pressure, but it seems like she started out the season fairly strong and has been gradually getting weaker and weaker as the season progressed. I'm hoping she's able to like turn that around and come into the Grand Prix with a fresh mindset, but unfortunately the Yilin that I saw at the ranking cup is not a Yellen that can win this competition, and it will be very difficult for her to even end up on the podium. Last and probably the dark horse, the one that really can shake this entire thing up, is Renka Watanabe. The reason why I say this is because out of all of these women, Rinka has the most difficult technical elements. She has that triple axel in the short program and she puts that triple axel in the long program. I'm not even going to ask for her to play it safe and just do a double axel in the short because now is not the time to play it safe. She probably has to play it safe at national. She probably has to play it safe at worlds. But here and now, if she's going to do it to show the Japanese Federation, look, I have the tech, elements, the level, the scores that you need, she's going to have to do it now. So I see Rinka coming out with her triple axel. And if she can get that triple axel around and she could land it, if she can get all her jumps, do all her spin, and then repeat that in the long program, I could see Rinka just walking away with this entire thing. But based on how the judges have been scoring, I'm giving her a 70% of a podium finish and a 49% chance of winning this. However, if I had to bet, I would put my money on Rinka Watanabe. Why? Because she has the technical elements, the most difficult program of all the women. And if she can land it, she's got the skating skills, she's got the spin, she's got the edge, she's got the jump. She's got everything that is needed to get the job done. But will she come and get the job done? That is what we will have to wait and see at the Grand Prix final, which I am so looking forward to. I know some of it is going to make me upset. I know the ISU now without the Russian ladies and their pre-rotated quads, that the ISU is thirsty, thirsty for some quads. And I know because of that, they are going to push some absurd PCS scores on Ilya Melanin. And although it is not this poor child's fault, this has nothing to do with Ilya. He is not the one giving the scores. The inflation, I already know the inflation is going to make me upset, but I'm still going to tune in because I can't help it. As for the pairs, I think that's going to be the calmest, just calmest event for me. Because whoever win, I will be happy. Whichever of my top three pairs win, because I'm equally invested in all of them. My two divas, Deanna and Alexa, are going to have another showdown. Invested in both of them. So for me, however it goes in pairs, I will be happy. Ice dance. If Chalk and Bake could pull off a miracle comeback, nothing would make me happier because, good God, how do you go from snake charmer to alien seduction and end up here? That's just too depressing. Bring it back. That would make me very happy. And then, ladies, again, whichever lady shows up and delivers on the night, I will be content with as long as the judging is fair. As long as there is no bonus based on country or coach, I will be happy with the result. But what about you guys? What do you think of my prediction? And how do you see the Grand Prix playing out? Let me know in the comments below.